Well, hello everyone. It's been a while. It's been a while, everybody. Hope everybody's having a good day today. Good Tuesday, July the 12th, 2022. So today we're going to be talking to a gentleman that I've seen this young man grow up for a while, and he's really been not an inspiration, but he's been committed to his sport, and it's just something that I want to talk about the dedication and how what hard work can get you. So, Mr. Mike, how you doing, sir?
I'm doing good. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, sir. So, just to know everyone on my part, the thing about this show I want to do, and with other shows, is kind of focus on people's abilities, and we'll talk more what I mean by that. So Mr. Sanchez, you could just tell people a quick background on yourself, like where you're from, what you do, how did you get into the sport, all that good stuff.
All right. Well, first, I was born in El Paso, Texas, back in 1985. Pretty much struggled from the time I was in my mom's womb. They had to do an emergency C-section because my heart was stopping. 3 months at 3 months old, they had to remove my appendix. I had appendicitis. Um, and then a year and 10 months old, they found retinoblastoma, cancer of the eye. Became completely blind at age, I want to say, a year and 11 months to 2 years old. Um, I don't know. I've always been an athlete. Started off with the Olympic, or the Special Olympics back in El Paso. Track and all that, and then just fell in love with wrestling. Just been wrestling and just you
Now,
know.
were you wrestling in high school or no?
I wrestled high school. I wrestled all 4 years of high school. I actually started uh before that, and then I wrestled at the School for the Blind. Um, I wrestled from middle school on through my senior in high school. Um, and
So
then
how did you? Let me ask you this, Mike. Now I've been curious because, like I said, I've known you for a while. How did you get into this? I mean, because this is not really this is a hard sport. I mean, considering that you have, especially wrestling and I'm kind of familiar a little bit with other stuff, but hands-on kind of stuff. And so, what is there like a singular thing that got you involved in this thing, or just you wanted to try it out?
I I grew up as a kid. Um, I was always into the wrestling aspect. I I was a year old, 2 years old. I loved back then. The old WWF, now WWE, the Attitude Era, all that good stuff. So wrestling always has been a passion. It's always been my thing. I ran track in high school, cross country, did go ball, played beat baseball with Martin down there in El Paso when I was a kid. Little league. I actually have a trophy, male athlete little league, beat baseball on the tee, ball. Um, so I've been pretty much doing sports since I was a kid.
But now let me ask you this thing. So let me ask in regards to so what is your sport right now? What's your main?
I'm a professional competitor in the awesome sport called Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Okay.
Um,
Now, can you kind of
that's
explain that a little bit? Because when you say Brazilians, what that means, people, there's different, what they call, now I could be wrong here, Mike, you might want to educate me, but there's different like houses or different, not houses, styles, there you go, of
so
jiu-jitsu, right?
yeah, so back in the early 1900s, back like even way before we were thought of, before even before my mom and dad and your mom were even born. A guy from Japan came to Brazil looking for a fight. Like nobody could beat him in Brazil. I mean, in Japan.
Oh, did we lose you, Mike? There you go. I think you're back.
Okay, sorry.
There you go.
Metro. Um, so Metro Access paratransit calls you the night before and reminds you of your trip the next day. So that's
Oh,
pretty
that's why it
cool.
is. Okay.
That's what it was. Yeah, that's what
Okay.
it was. So he came to Brazil, and the family, the Gracies. I'm pretty sure those who watch UFC remember Hoist Gracie. Um, and he came down and taught the Gracie family. You know, there is these big time Gideon Gracie and all those Gracies, who who literally learned jiu-jitsu from this Japanese guy. Um, and then the Gracies just literally modified it and created their own and converted it to Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Okay.
And then back then, it believes was they uh, started creating a little army, Brazilian jiu-jitsu army. Uh, the two Carlos Gracie Sr. and I forgot his name. Um, their belief was the woman only belonged in the kitchen and only belonged creating, procreating little soldiers for them,
Okay.
right? And they even had kids with their maids and stuff too. So created this little army, and then they started breaking off and converted their own schools, right? And
Now is Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu? I'm gonna cut you off there, Mike. Just so people, I guess, give a more visual thing. Is it more of a? Because I'm kind of familiar a little bit with my limited knowledge of martial arts. Is so I know there's some, like, for example, karate, and there's jiu-jitsu. There's, I know they're all different, but is Brazilian more of a like a kickboxing kind of deal, like, or
um,
is it more of a
so
like a
Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is more of wrestling, takedowns, leverage, uh, pretty much controlling your opponent, controlling the person on the ground, manipulation of the joints. So we have
okay?
a bunch of submission locks that manipulate shoulder joints and elbow joints and wrists and ankles and knees and
Like an
heels
arm
and
bar and all that.
arm bar. That's for the
Hmm.
arm bar. That's one. My bread and butter has always been arm bars. That's why my nickname is the Arm Bar King.
Oh, there you go. That's why on Facebook. That's
Yeah.
right. Well, let me
Um.
ask you this, Mike. So people kind of get more of a context where we're talking about, and I saw your bio, and I was impressed, Mike. I'm really impressed. So kind of give people an overlay of what you've done regarding in accolades. What I mean by that, like the awards you won, the medals you gotten, what you participated in, because I was impressed, Mike. I really was, and like I said, I think people want to see that or hear that what you've done so far up to date. Like, I know you did something in San Antonio and you've been around the place, but can
Yeah.
you tell people?
So I started jiu-jitsu back in 2015. After I graduated high school, I didn't know what to do. I was a wrestler. I was so used to being on the mats day in day out. You know, grinding. You know, lots of hours, 3 4 hours a day, just grinding. On the mats, just takedowns and drills and everything. So I found local tournaments in El Paso, local jiu-jitsu tournaments. Hayashi's Dojo there in El Paso. Shout outs to them. Uh, I also did some judo with them. I did about 15 years of judo. Um, and I was at a local tournament in El Paso, and in 2015, that was in March. I want to say, yeah, in March, late February, March. And Gracie Baja, Baja, it's actually Gracie Barra, but in Portuguese, the R makes the H sound.
Hmm.
So it's Gracie Baja. The professor, he came up to me and he's like, "Hey, bro," he goes, "You got amazing wrestling skills." Because I was beating people with just outscoring them, just takedowns, letting them up, takedowns, letting them up, takedowns, and just getting points, just scoring points. I think one of my matches I won like 16-0.
Really?
Yeah. And he's like, I want you at my school. I'm like, well, the reason I don't train jiu-jitsu is because I don't have the money. It's expensive. It's about 113 to $200 a month, depending
Okay.
who you train with. He goes, no, you don't get it, bro. He's like, I'm not looking to make money from you. I'm looking to make you. I'm looking to turn you into a world champion. He goes, you're getting a full scholarship, free ride scholarship at my school. You don't have to pay a cent. All you have to worry about is buying your gear. I'm like, all right, cool. And so then where he got his black belt from, and I say professor because in Brazilian jiu-jitsu it's not a sensei when you become a black belt like other martial arts tech, other forms of martial arts. You actually you become a professor in Brazilian jiu-jitsu. And so his professor, he got his black belt, Professor Tulsa, is from Brazil. And when I told him I'm leaving to Austin, moving to Austin, he's like, well, let me reach out to the people out there. So Professor Tulsa, who got his black belt, he got his black belt from Professor Tulsa, trained with Professor Alexander Fares Santos. We call him, we know him as Professor Dungy. He They grew up together in Brazil, Professor Tulsa and Professor Dungy. They grew up in Brazil, so he called him and said, "Hey, I'm looking. I have this guy. He's completely blind. He's moving to Austin. He started training jiu-jitsu with me, and he goes, can you continue his scholarship?" He's like, "Of course." So I moved here in 2015, late in August, and then I started training. And moved back to El Paso in 16, and then continued down there and came back to Austin and just came back to the school where I was training at in South Austin and continued.
Well, let's talk about and I do apologize because for some reason, Mike, you're popping the noise. I don't know why it's doing that. I do apologize, but I'm really interested in. I did some research on the World Games in Birmingham, Alabama, and I was impressed. There's over 36,000 athletes, which you're going to be one of those. How many sports did you say? 247.
223, I think.
Okay, and then there is over I think 100 countries are being sponsored or being represented, and you're representing the United States of America. So, what particular sport will you be doing? And let's try this, Mike. Let's try this. If you could take off your earphone, because I think we're getting a lot of like popping noise. So, and this is live, so it is
Hold
what it
on.
is.
Let me see if this will work. Hold on.
That's about live. I like this is why I like doing the live stuff because you get stuff like this, which is cool.
Am I still
Spontaneous.
popping?
Yes.
I'm still popping.
Yeah.
Hold
I'm
on.
not sure if it's the Bluetooth or.
It's probably the Bluetooth. Hold on. Let's try taking one out.
So while Mike is doing that, just to let you know, folks, it's a big deal. As a matter of fact, Birmingham, Alabama had to bid for the games, and they got awarded the games in 2015. And I'm not sure they were supposed to start in 2020, but COVID. But now it's 7 years later, and they have. I think because they say they're going to impact the city of Birmingham, I think over $20 million in income, which is
Yeah.
amazing. So let me see if that worked, Mike.
Do I sound better?
Go ahead and continue talking.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
you're still
pretty
popping.
big. I'm still popping. All right,
Yeah, I don't know why you're doing
let's
that. I'm sorry.
Let's try. Hold on. I'm gonna just.
This is live, folks. It's unedited. That's why I like doing
Can you hear
this.
me?
By the way, go ahead, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Okay, keep talk.
But yeah, so it's a big deal.
Yeah, I think what it is. Are you? You know what I think it is? It's the internet. Because now that you took off your headset, I can still hear the popping.
Oh, okay. Sorry about that.
That's okay. Okay, let's try this. How about can you get next to the router, maybe? No.
Right here.
Okay, let's go ahead and talk.
Test 1 2.
Yeah,
Can you hear me?
you're still popping. I don't know why it's doing that. Well, let's try it. Let's just see how much we could do.
Hey, sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Things happen. That's all right.
Yeah, it's a big deal. I have a friend who's gonna be helping me out down there. Say he got to the airport and you step off the airport
and there's stands where you could buy the World Games T-shirts and stuff at the airport.
Okay. Now, do you? How much did it cost you money to go over there? 'Cause, I mean, the airline ticket and all that. Who's you paying for that?
Sponsors.
You got
Everything is
sponsors.
sponsors. Everything is sponsors.
Okay. And how many sponsors did you get? Did you get? I mean, how did they tell you how much it would be the total cost? How much do you need to get sponsored for?
So a good friend of me and my wife's, he paid for my plane tickets.
Okay.
And then Vision Without Barriers. I don't know if you are familiar with Vision Without Barriers.
I've heard of them. Who is it? I've heard of that.
So what they do is they help people fulfill their dreams by providing funds. So they helped out with some money, and then there's a local plant-based milk company here in Austin.
Okay.
Because my stomach can't handle regular milk.
Okay.
Dairy. So, and this company is local. One of my training partners works with them. He talked to them. They send me some money and also stocked my fridge up with plant-based milk for the next 6 months.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Cool.
They're going to deliver it at least twice a month for the remaining of the year.
Now let me ask you this, Mike. Doing what you've done, gone, with the dedication that you have, and this is a time, I don't want you to be mean or about other people talking, but what have you heard that people say towards you, like, hey, why are you doing this, or you're not supposed to be here, or et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, because of your blindness?
Actually, honestly, like, I don't know, you're wasting your time. It's not a career. Oh, you're not gonna go far. Oh, you're wasting your time. You're already an adult. You should have, if you didn't make it as a kid, as younger, as a teenager, and in your 20s, but you're not gonna make it now. And unfortunately, it's people with the same disability that I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Now, so when it comes to, because I have a little experience with grappling and with my cousins and stuff. So how, this is one I could still see. So how would you do when you have hands on to someone? How do you anticipate their move, or how do you manipulate where they're going to do? Because I'm not gonna lie, Mike. If I were able to see back then and do what you're doing now, I would hurt myself. I'm not gonna lie to you. So how do you do it not to hurt yourself? I mean, considering that legs and arms are flying around.
Oh, this sports, you're gonna have injuries. I've had injuries that have taken me out of training and out of competing for a year, 3, 4, 5 months at a time, 6 months at a time. I tore my ACL back in 2012. I was out for.
Oh, did you really?
Yeah, I tore into 3 pieces. My left knee. I went in for a takedown. The rest of my body and my other leg went one way, while my knee went the other way. And the doctor told me with so many years of wrestling and everything, just my knee just couldn't take it no more. I suffered a grade 2 tear of my MCL, my medial collateral ligament, last year in a pro fight, they're pretty cool. You actually come out to music and under lights and stuff like that. So in jiu-jitsu. So I've broken a toe. I've had injuries. It's
okay. Now let me ask you this: when it comes, how can I say this? Do you feel? And I'm asking this for a reason. Do you feel that you're ever outmatched, or do you feel I'm good, I can handle this? And what I'm saying by that, Mike, is because I want people to understand that just because you have limitations, no matter what it is, if mobility or if it's whatever it is, try your best. Try. I mean, if you can't do it, you can't do it, or it doesn't work out. But like Mike, this man has done a lot, and like I said, I've seen him when he was younger, and now that he's grown up a little bit more, and the accolades that you've gotten in your sports, Mike, you should be proud of that and not because you're blind, no, because of your abilities. Because you've been able to do that, because it's only you on the mat, right? It's not like it's like 5 people. You're a part of a football team or a basketball team or a team. You're one-on-one, and that takes skills, brother. You know what I'm saying?
The thing is, the beauty about this sport is that whether you're blind, because there's actually people are doing jiu-jitsu that are missing from the knee down, and they're still amazing. And I have one that he's actually competing representing the Brazilian national team. We train together here in Austin, and he's amazing. I mean, he's a black belt. He's from Brazil. So that's the beauty of this sport. Like, jiu-jitsu for everybody. Like,
Mm.
it's once
Now,
once
is there a point where you feel where you could retire? Is there like a certain spot you want to get to in your career that, you know, I'm good, I'm done what I wanted to do? I mean, because like what you're doing, you're leaving tomorrow for your game. Well, I think your match is Thursday, right? So
right.
that's a feather in your cap right there, man. So what is there like a certain goal, or what else do you want to achieve to the point where, you know what, I'm good, I'm going to retire, or whatnot?
So honestly, if I continue taking care of my body, eating right, work, exercising, keeping my stretch, I've implemented some yoga, stretching. I do a lot of stretching because in jiu-jitsu, our hips are one of the most injury prone. Hips, back, necks,
You're
knees.
gonna be you're gonna be like Tom Brady, right?
Yeah. I honestly feel like I'm 37. Um, I feel like
So let me do this, Mike. Put your headsets back on because I want people to hear this next conversation we're gonna have regarding. 'Cause I think that Poppy's going away with just a little bit.
let me see. Hold on, let me.
To those who are watching, thank you for your patience. I think like this happen.
Technical difficulties can't always rely on technology, right? Technology
Right? We
always.
should we should know that.
Oh
Well,
yeah, especially screen readers.
there you go. Especially screen readers. Yeah. Especially like Jaws and whatnot. So, so the question I want to ask you, Mike, now you sound better. What, by your experience, because you've done a lot, you walked the walk so you could talk the talk. And what I mean by that is, those who are watching or listening, either no matter what their disability or even if they don't have a disability, what can you tell someone when they want to question themselves? Like, can I do it? Or am I smart enough? Or am I this? Or what can you tell people to tell them, to do what you have done so far?
You know, my mom, rest her soul. I don't know, George, you're in the same boat as me. You know, we both lost our moms. I just lost mom last year from COVID, suffering
Yeah, I'm sorry to
multiple
hear that, man.
strokes in
Yeah.
the hospital. But she always told me you could do whatever you have your mindset to. Do not let nobody say you can't. Do not let nobody stop you. You're you're the only one. My mom always pushed me. My mom never let me. Even as a kid, even when I recently lost my vision growing up as a kid, um, she never let me use my blindness as an excuse. Like
Yeah.
I was climbing on top of the roof of the house. I was climbing on top of trees. You know those vans that have the in the back the ladder to go
Yeah.
onto the roof of the van. I
Yeah.
used to climb up that and go down the windshield in front, or vice versa. You know, or climb to the top and then lower myself, hang my feet down, and then just drop off the side of the van. And I used to ride a bike. I would hear a car coming. I knew where I was. I would quickly pedal real quick to the side, get off the street.
I've heard
So,
people doing that. They're blind, and that just now you don't have any light perception, right?
no, nothing,
Okay.
nothing. My eyes were both removed because of the retinoblastoma. My
Okay.
eyes are prosthetic. So, but
Okay.
going back, my mom, rest her soul. She's one of the main reasons why I am who I am, and
Yes,
how
sir. Amen to that.
how aventado I am. I don't hold back. I actually, believe it or not, in February, I went skydiving. I jumped out of a plane at 14,000 feet with
I
a
believe it.
with a
I
guide.
believe it, Mike. Yeah. Let me ask you a question. It might throw this question might throw some people off, and I do apologize. I have to ask you, man, because I wear a prosthetic. How in the heck do you keep them in, when you're wrestling? Do you take them out or they pop out? How does that work?
No,
'Cause-
I compete.
I
in
apologize,
training.
folks. I'm just curious because sometimes that thing just pops out on its own. I'm like, how the hell do you do wrestling and keep those little boogers in there? You know what I'm saying?
I don't know how it happens, but I always train and compete with my eyes in.
Okay. That's a weird conversation to have, right? With someone. That's not a normal conversation, but
But
go ahead.
yeah, I mean, it's what's so awesome about this sport is that you're full contact. So once you're in contact with your opponent, you know, you're in control. Like uh, I have this saying that once I step on the mat, I'm in a different world.
Yeah,
You
no, yeah,
know,
no, yeah. It's like the football players say that they just their mindset just changes. Oh yeah, yeah, that's I've heard that. If if someone wants to follow you, Mike, on social media, what do you have right now?
I have Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and I really don't do Twitter much.
Now, are you gonna be showing some of the stuff while you're over there in Atlanta or not, or Birmingham? Sorry.
I might be posting later on Instagram,
Okay.
but look me up, Mike Armbar King, Mike, and then space ARMBARK. I mean B, um, Mike, and then ARMBAR space KING Sanchez. Look me up. The way you'll find me is if you say professional athlete at Gracie Baja South Austin, Gracie Barra South Austin.
Okay.
Um, and I mean, just the accolades of mine just speak out, man. It's been one incredible ride, and it's just I've
Well,
had
Mike,
great
let me
training
tell you
partners.
this. You should be proud of what you've done, brother. I mean, I'm not talking about you being blind. That's neither here or there. But what you've done to get the respect of others, like myself, regarding your abilities. I told you this last night in the text. People with disabilities don't have limitations; they only have potential, right? Because God knows where you could go from here, Mike, regarding your abilities. And I wish you a lot of luck, brother, because
Thanks.
that's going to be a huge platform, folks. Think about this: the World Games. There's over 36,000 participants, athletes, and you're going to be part of that, brother. I mean, if you're a guy from El Paso being on the world stage, that's impressive. No matter what anybody says.
Yep, and you can catch it, and you can look at the schedule. It's on the Olympic. It's so big. It's gonna be on the Olympic channel.
And matter of fact, I found out last night. I don't know what they're showing, but I know last night when I was doing some research, YouTube, if you put in 22,000. Seriously, George, 2022 World Games, Birmingham, Alabama. It'll pop up, and it's a live stream also. So, well, Mike, like I said, brother, I wish you a lot of luck, man, and do your best. I know you're gonna do your best, and come back with a. Now, have you've won medal before, right?
I have I have won 2017 IB International Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu Federation silver medal. Um, 2018 I was the first blind grappler on a submission showcase pro card when you come out to music under lights.
Okay.
I'm a silver medalist at Austin Open 2020, bronze in 2019 at the Austin Open. I was on Fight to Win. Fight to Win's one of the biggest, and they travel all over the world, all over the country. They even gone to Puerto Rico. And then 2019 gold medalist at the San Antonio Open.
Wow.
And then I've done another fight card last year. Unfortunately, the match stopped ending because that's when I tore my MCL.
Okay, yeah, you can't do much once you do that.
Yeah. So, and what happened is what I've noticed it tore is I tried to push off and my knee just popped,
Yep.
and I
Okay,
couldn't push off anymore for a takedown. So I
So,
mean, my resume speaks for itself. I mean, I've accomplished a lot, and but I couldn't do it
but
without.
hold on, let me tell you this, Mike. And I want people to understand this. It's not that you're being cocky, like, oh, I'm this. you're telling your resume. You're telling your history. You're telling people what you've done, what you accomplished, and that's on you, brother. It's not like I said, team sport. But before we go, what do you want to tell anyone? In parting words, something that will stick with them. What do you want to tell them about your story, about what you've done? Because I know you've gone through a lot, disappointments, but you also gone through a lot of achievements. So what do you want to tell those individuals that sometimes they feel, low, or, man, because of this or because of that? And I've been there. You've been there. I know. We're all been there. So what do you tell that person that just to push them forward?
Surround yourself with people who are going to believe in you and who are going to push you, not make you give up. Like, I've been blessed to have such amazing teammates, such amazing training partners that push me on the mats day in, day out, just for me to become better. My mom has been a big influence in my life. She's the one that pushed me. Like, yes, I said earlier, she never let me quit. I was at the school for the blind. I would call her, Mom, I want to do this. She goes, we'll do it. She goes, we need your verbal consent, because I was under 18, you know how, and she's like, pass me the phone. I gave her my permission. All right. And
that you know what, Mike? I think that's what it is. I think a lot of parents need to see that or understand how you grew up and just the attitude, because that's the same attitude I have. Basically, my mom was the same way. And she would say, real quick story. One time I was ironing my clothes, and I could still see, but it was limited. And somebody told my mom, why are you letting your son iron? He's visually impaired. She's like, you could do it. Why not? It's the same thing like you. That your mom said, why not? Well, what's to stop you? Just because you can't see, Mike, just doesn't mean you can't do it, right?
Here's a little story. My mom would purposely move the furniture on me every other week in the house. She's like, I'm gonna show you how to. She had me making sandwiches by the age of 3. She goes, I'm gonna take all the stuff out of the fridge. I'm gonna show you how to do it once. If you need help again twice, I'll show you again. She goes, but you're blind. You're not stupid.
Right? True. Don't ask my wife because she might say different, but for me.
Yeah.
But well, brother, like I said, Mike, I do appreciate you taking the time. I know you're leaving tomorrow for Birmingham, Alabama. And when are the games end? When do you come back? Friday?
I come back Saturday. I compete Friday. I come back Saturday. But yeah, I mean, it's the only issue sometimes that gets in the way of training is transportation. We're not like, oh, I'm gonna get in my car and go to the gym today. No, yeah, I have to schedule before 5 p.m. Central Time the day before, and if I don't schedule, I'm screwed. There's no training that day, the next day. So it's the only thing. And right now we live up north, and the school's way up south. So like I have 7 a.m. trainings. They pick me up at 5 in the morning because it's shared ride,
Yeah.
So that's
2 hours. Ouch.
That's the only downfall. Other than that, if you have your mind set to it, and if you have your mind set to what you want to do, and push yourself, accomplish it. Don't give up in life. We're blind, we're disabled, but we're faced.
Well, let me say this, Mike. You're not disabled. We're not disabled. I say we have different abilities.
Yeah, and honestly, even fully sighted people have different abilities.
Yes, sir.
They face day in, day out too issues like we do.
Yes, sir.
We have to have. It's the only difference for us is we have to rely on public transportation, and we have to have somebody read, paperwork or whatever. Other than that,
we're good, right?
We're good.
Yeah, we're good. So, but like I said, I hope this, and I don't like to use the word inspire because for me, people tell me, "Oh, you're an inspiration." I tell them, you know what? I don't want to be an inspiration. I want to be an example. And you're an example, Mike.
I'm the same way.
Yeah, you're an example.
I get a lot of inspiration.
Yeah,
I get a lot of that too, like tournaments.
And
it's so funny. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
No, it's okay. But like I said, that's you're an example, Mike, of what people could do. They put their mind to it. So we're gonna go now because I know, like I said, you have to finish packing and get ready for tomorrow morning. But Mike Sanchez, thank you so much, sir, for being part of this conversation and kind of hopefully push people along to be more active in their lifestyle, even though no matter what their disability is or their abilities, right? Either way,
Yeah, exactly.
walk around or
Tell me about it. My ride's like at four. My pickup is between 4:41 and 5:11 in the morning. So
really.
yeah, because
Ouch.
I live way north, and the airport is way south. You know,
Okay.
so
So I was Jack. You're gonna have a busy day tomorrow. Yeah, I'm busy next 3 days, brother. So well, thank you, Mike.
thank you, George, again for having me.
Of
Thanks
course,
for
man. Of course.
inviting me.
You're watching the Accessibility Corner. Hopefully, next week we'll have my co-host will be back, Dr. Juarez from UTEP. And Mike, my brother, I salute you. I'm saluting you right now. The best of luck for tomorrow and Friday. And well, actually Thursday and Friday. I keep thinking today's Wednesday. Sorry. For Thursday and Friday. And all right, see you, brother.
All right, thank you.
Bye bye.
Bye.